question asked, whose answer you want to find out. This is a question which you have created yourself, whose answer you know, and now you compare this and this. You want to do this, you have already done this. This is already done. So whatever is done here, try to apply here and see what happens. So what you will do? These are, let's say, 4 points. 1, 2, 3 and 4. These 4 points, let us mark them first. So as you know very well, here there will be point 1, midpoint 2, midpoint here is 3, midpoint here is 4. So you have marked the simple points. Now for creating the entire circle, what you do? You require more points. So suppose I take one point here, let's say 5, somewhere here. Where can you draw this point number 5 here? Can you draw point number 5 here? No, we don't know how to draw. So now what we do? I will draw one line parallel from 5 and perpendicular from 5. And know this point here. Now you don't know how to draw 5 here, but can you know where is this point? Can you know where is this point? Here. You measure this, and mark them here. Mark here, and then draw these 2 lines. This is going to be 0.5. Correct? So 0.5 will be here. Because we have taken same distance for 5. So same way, suppose now you are asked to find out where is 0.6. So what do you do? Same way. Draw these 2 lines along the lines which are parallel to the lines of the square. So same line, now you mark this point here, and join. When you join, you are going to draw lines which are parallel lines to the isometric lines. So that will give you point number 6. Now this circle is made up of how many points? There are thousands of points are there. So if you like 5, like 6, you take 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So if you take so many points, and like what you have done for 5, what you have done for 6, if you do it for all these points, that means everywhere you get this distance. So if you go on doing all this, then you will be able to mark all the points here after some process. So when you get all these points by the procedure, like that, you will get these points, and now when you join these points, you will draw the circle. And what is done here is exactly same as what you have already learned while drawing a pentagon in the isometric. How you have learned to draw a pentagon? For learning pentagon, we started with point A, and we first found out how to put point A here in the isometric. Once you know how to put the point A, then we will learn how to put point B. And when you got both the points, then you have joined this line, and then you say that out of the full pentagon, one side of the pentagon AB I can draw, and it is this. Then we continued with the rest of the points, and after drawing all these points and all the lines, our pentagon was complete. Now once we know the procedure for drawing a pentagon, same procedure we have adapted and drawn a circle, because circle is nothing but a polygon. This is a polygon of sides 5. This is a polygon of sides infinite. Correct? So the procedure is here. Is it simple? Can you draw a circle like this? If you apply this procedure, you will be able to draw the circle. There is nothing wrong, and you can draw a circle. Now imagine that you are given an exercise of drawing isometric figure where the orthographic figures are given, and in the orthographic figures there are circles. Say for example, I am giving you an exercise where the orthographic view is like this. There is a hole here. This is the top view. And in the side view it is like this. So object is given, there is a box, there is a hole, and you draw the isometric. Can you draw? You know how to draw. So first you will draw a box. That box will come something like this. This box you can draw by the usual procedure which you have done earlier. And now for drawing a circle which will come somewhere here, what you will do? You will enclose this circle. You will enclose this circle in a square like what we have done here. Draw that square. And after drawing the square, what? After drawing the square, you will use all this tedious process, very lengthy process, very complex process, very long process, and you will draw this circle. Is it okay? You should say it is not okay. Why you will say it is not okay? Because who will spend such a big time for drawing a circle? Because in your object there could be many complex figures. The figures may have many more circles. There could be an object, if you remember, there was sometimes an object like this. Where there was one hole here, there was one hole here, there was one hole here, maybe there was one more hole here. Now if there are so many holes, and if you want to draw an isometric figure like this, consisting of 4 circles, and for each circle you are going to draw this green square. You are going to draw green square and then do all this everywhere. Then what will happen? The whole life will be not sufficient to draw all this. Which means that there has to be a better way out. There is a better way out. There is definitely a better way out. That means for drawing a circle in isometric, although we have learned this process, which is same as this process, we are not going to follow this process for drawing a circle because there is a better method available. There is a better and simple method available which will make us draw these circles very easily. Very easily. The only thing is that method, the circle which you will draw by that method, which I am going to show you, the circle which you are going to draw by that method will not be exactly same as this. It will be slightly different. But then that difference, it is not possible to notice. So that circle we will be able to accept that it is a proper circle. The circle which we are now going to learn by a simpler procedure will be accepted by us because it is simple to draw, although it is not the real circle, it is not the exact circle, because this is the correct circle. What we have done is correct. Because we have of course followed the actual procedure and all the points are there as per the rule. So this is a real circle. But what circle we are going to draw by a shortcut method, that we will be accepting because the method is short and we will be able to draw it fast, but it will not be the exact, it will be slightly different. It will look slightly different, but that difference is not noticeable, so we will accept that. Okay, so now we will learn how to draw a circle in isometric. How to draw a circle in isometric. Correct? So let us learn that. Okay, so this is a circle here of certain size, and then we are going to draw that in isometric. So let's say the diameter of the circle is 100. There is a circle of diameter 100 which you have to draw. And for that what we have done is, we have enclosed that circle in a square of size 100. And then that square we have drawn here of size 100 by 100. The only thing is, while drawing, we are drawn in such a way that this is 30 degrees. The vertical line, 30 degree line, 30 degree line, and then we have created the necessary dimensions and drawn the square of size 100 in isometric. Now see what the procedure says. See what the procedure says. The procedure says that first you draw, of course, the square in which the circle is fitted, and that is what we have to draw. Then the next thing is we are going to join the longest diagonal. See, this has got two diagonals. This is the longest diagonal, this is the short diagonal. So we join the diagonal which is the longest. So join the longer diagonal. Okay. Then what you do is the midpoints of the other two sides we are joining here. See, remember the procedure. First is join and draw the diagonal which is the long diagonal. This is the short diagonal. Don't do that. Draw the long diagonal. And then on the long diagonal, on one side you mark the midpoints of the two sides, and the other side you join these two midpoints to the corner of the square. So after you do this much, which is very simple to do, the next thing is take your compass which you use for drawing a circle, and then with this as a center, I'll call this center as C1. With C1 as a center, you draw a arc. That arc is of radius this R1. This much radius. Draw an arc of this radius. So when you draw, it will come like this. So that arc, when you draw, that arc will come and it will touch here the midpoint of this side. This is the midpoint of this side. So we have drawn one arc. Now same thing, there is point C2 here. So the same radius, that is R1. R1 is same as R2 because it is same. So take the same radius and draw another arc here, which will be here. C1 center this, C2 center this, same radius, same arc, just draw one here and one here. After that, now you take this as a center, I will call it as C3. Take this as a center and take this full length as R3. Take this radius as R3, center is C3, and now we draw another arc which will start from here and it will end here. So with this center we have drawn arc like this, center at C3. So once you do that, next thing is call this as center C4 and take the same radius, but now the center is here, and draw another arc which will be this arc. That means we have drawn 4 different arcs. Arc number 1, arc number 2, arc number 3 and arc number 4. Now when you draw these 4 arcs, you will find that those 4 arcs are perfectly joining each other and they are appearing to be continuous arcs. That means this figure becomes a continuous figure, it looks like an ellipse. And as you know, the circle looks like ellipse in isometric when you draw. Okay, and this is the procedure where by drawing 4 arcs, these arcs are connected to each other automatically, although you have drawn this arc up to here and this is another arc, but this arc and this arc, it is joined properly, so it doesn't look different. See, although I have drawn it here as a free and I don't have any instruments, but when you draw with proper compass, with proper measurement, everything, that time this arc will come perfect, and then the entire ellipse will be drawn which will look like a circle. So this becomes isometric drawing of a circle. The only thing is, as I said earlier, if you remember what was discussed earlier it was discussed that this circle which is drawn as isometric circle is by approximate method. This is not exact. The exact circle is slightly different, but this is not the exact circle, but we are going to accept this because the difference is not much. And this is our circle which is easy to draw, because otherwise you have to draw by plotting all the 1000 points, which is very, very difficult. So we are making use of 4 center method. This is called as 4 four center method. So by making use of four center method, we have learnt how to draw circle in isometric. So if this is the case, now you will find that things are so easy to draw. So suppose you are asked to draw one cylinder. So suppose now I am giving you an exercise where the question is like this. This is a cylinder. Front view, top view, there is a circle of diameter 50, there is a cylinder of diameter 50, front view, top view, left hand side view, and we are going to draw this cylinder in isometric. Maybe the size is given, 50 is the diameter, and let's say 100 is the height, or maybe 80 is height. Height 80, diameter 50. How can you draw? By making use of what we have learnt. Now as you know, there are isometric planes, and these are the three isometric planes. Now this exercise what we have done, this time the circle was on this left side plane, or right side plane. This is done on the right side plane, and the circle which we have created was here. Now the top side of the cylinder is circle. Circle is here. So when you draw the cylinder here, the circle will come in this plane here. It will come something like this, and then the cylinder will be created. That means this procedure what we have learnt, that procedure we have to adopt by drawing a square in the top plane. In the top plane. So how do we do it? Now it is very easy. First enclose in a square. The size of the square will be of course 50 by 50. Then here we draw the square in the top plane because the circle is in the top plane. See, circle is here. The circle is in the top plane. It will come in the top plane. So we will draw here. The only thing is I will draw larger because I want to explain the procedure. So the figure drawn will be larger than what is shown here. So first thing is I will draw a square. In fact, it is rhombus. If you remember the correct name, this is a rhombus that is drawn of the size 50 by 50. Then the next thing is draw the long diagonal. Then get the center point of the other two lines on one side of the diagonal, and on this side select the corner of the square. Then join. So that will give you four centers. So where are the centers? C1, C2, C3 and C4. So we got the four centers. Then we take this radius as R1 and draw this. From here, draw this. From here, draw this. From here, draw this. So we have drawn the ellipse. So this is the top circle. The circle here. Now what next? There is one more circle here at the base and the distance is 80. The distance is 80. So if you think of a box, so whatever box we have drawn, whatever square we have drawn here, so something similar, there is a box here in which there is a cylinder. So that box if you want to draw, then where will be that box? Correct? It is 80. So first we have drawn the box, and after drawing a box, now the circle which you have drawn in the top plane, similar circle you have to draw again here at the base plane. So you will repeat the whole procedure here again, okay, and draw it. But what I would suggest to you is a shortcut. So what that shortcut says, see, out of these 4 arcs, 1, 2, 3 and 4, this arc is going behind, it will not be seen. Only these 3 arcs will be seen. So what we do is, for drawing these 3 arcs, whatever are the centers, only those centers we are going to shift. So how do you draw this arc? We have used center C1, so only shift C1 down, and this is your C1 at a distance of 80 down. So you shifted C1 down by 80, and then once you do that, you draw same arc again. So this arc you draw here again. Same arc. Same way you shift C2 down and draw another arc, like this arc you draw here. Like this. Then for drawing this arc, the center was here. So this C4 again you shift it down, it will come somewhere here. And when you shift it here, with this center and the same radius what you have used here, you draw the third arc, which will come like this. That means, although there are 4 arcs, we have drawn only 3 arcs because the 4th arc is going behind, it is not seen, so it is not used. So once you draw these 3 arcs, what next is, now you draw a tangent line to these 2 arcs. So when you do that, come like this, and here also, but I have not drawn properly here. Come something like this, and when you join, it will come like this. So now this part is not required, it is gone behind, it is there but it is gone behind. So now this becomes the final shape. So the cylinder, if you think how it will come, I will just draw the only cylinder. This is there, but we are not drawn. This becomes the cylinder, how it looks. This will look in isometric like this. Procedure wise, this is how you will draw. Okay? And once you finalize this tangent point, then you make this dark. Initially you draw these arcs light, because we don't know where it will touch. After you draw these lines